Breaking tonight on The Story, you are looking live at the campus of UC Berkeley as they prepare for the possibility of some violent protests there this evening. In just under about 3 hours, Ben Shapiro will speak at the birthplace of free speech, as that university is known. The school taking drastic measures, putting up concrete barriers around the campus, and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on security so that he can speak. The Los Angeles Times describing it as, quote, unprecedented measures at Berkeley for conservative writers' speech. The school even holding a news conference earlier today. Watch this.
The university has obviously gone to extraordinary lengths, and in some ways unprecedented lengths, so that tonight's event can be safe and successful. We regret that the current context we're living in here on this campus and across the country requires these sorts of preparations and measures to be taken.
Fox's Claudia Cowan live on the Berkeley campus tonight. Hi, Claudia.
Hi, Martha. As you said, just about 3 hours now until Ben Shapiro takes the stage, and folks have started to gather here at the main plaza at the UC Berkeley campus. Some of these folks here are with the leftist group Resist Fascism, and so far no problems, just a spirited exchange of ideas and debate. But security, I can tell you, is very, very tight. The streets here are closed, and soon police will set up a 4-block perimeter and only let students with ID and tickets through. Officials say they're thinking outside the box to ensure everyone's safety, but some critics say all the security sends the wrong message.
I think it's sad that it's taken this much security for Berkeley to say that a conservative can speak here. You know, Berkeley should be an environment where anybody is allowed to speak on their ideas or their ideology without the concern for safety.
This place remains a campus that welcomes speakers from across the political spectrum, but it is also a place that has had to adapt to a very different national context and to the fact that there are extreme individual and organizations that are willing to come here and turn this place into a battleground. We will not tolerate it, and we have the pieces in place to confront it in the days ahead.
Well, despite the ramped up security, some teachers canceled classes, and the school is offering counseling to students and staff who may feel traumatized by the presence of a polarizing figure. Officials say that counseling is available to anyone, liberal or conservative. Now, police here say they will arrest anyone wearing a mask if they refuse to take it off. And thanks to a change in city policy, they will deploy pepper spray if need be if these crowds get out of control. And one final note, Martha, school officials say they have spent more than $600,000 on security to ensure safety for everyone at tonight's event, showing once again that free speech is not always free. Back to you.
Even when you're a reporter sometimes. Claudia, thank you very much. So here now with more tonight, Mark Thiessen, an American Enterprise Institute scholar and a Fox News contributor, and Wendy Osefo, a political commentator and professor at Johns Hopkins University. Welcome to both of you. I mean, it's astonishing, Wendy. Why would you need $600,000 worth of security when Ben Shapiro is going to come speak there? He was, I want to point out, the #1 most targeted Jewish journalist in 2016. He is hardly a fascist or a neo-Nazi. So what is going on here tonight?
I agree with that, and I think that Ben Shapiro has every right to speak. However, what we're witnessing is these right-wing provocateurs who are descending upon UC Berkeley. And we have to ask ourselves, earlier this year we saw one of those provocateurs come on campus, cause chaos, and cause over $100,000 of damages. UC Berkeley since 1964 has been coined the birthplace of free speech.
Right, so why are they not for free speech? I mean, why would this?
I think it's the intent.
Why would groups in Berkeley and professors, they're saying, students, the professors said, you know, we understand if you need to stay home. They're canceling classes for Free Speech Week at Berkeley. I mean, if you can't go there for an education to hear people of all different viewpoints, I'm not sure why you go there at all. Mark?
Absolutely, you're 100% right. What we are seeing here is the rise of a domestic terrorist organization called Antifa, which call themselves anti-fascist, but in fact adopt the fascist tactics of the black shirts that show up with hundreds of people bearing sticks and clubs and actually shields that say no hate as they beat peaceful protesters. And I don't know if there's going to be violence tonight. I hope there's no violence tonight. But even if there isn't, the existence of this violence in Berkeley and other places has already put a chill on free speech, because as you pointed out, $600,000 for security for Ben Shapiro, Okay, this student group that invited him is being charged $15,000 as a security fee. That's the tuition for a single year in Berkeley. So, thank goodness they've got groups like the Young America's Foundation that are willing to pay for that for them. But most students can't afford that kind of thing. So college campuses around the country, students are going to be inviting fewer conservative speakers because they can't afford $15,000 for security when Antifa shows up with their clubs and their sticks to beat people up that they disagree with.
I mean, Wendy, shouldn't the university be saying, if you break a window, if you cause any violence tonight, we don't care which side you're on. You will be arrested. You'll be suspended from school. We are sticking up for free speech in every way, shape, and form, and we want to make sure that this man can speak.
Absolutely, but as a professor, I must say that the university has the #1 goal to protect the students. So it's not saying that Ben Shapiro is going to cause any harm. It's to say if there is any agitators, that we are prepared for that. And I wanted to say something about the intent here. As UC Berkeley is the place of free speech, the intent by right-wing provocateurs has been to disrupt the status quo. And that intent is both dangerous
Wendy, I
and
have
needs
to jump
to be
in
questioned.
because when you look at the violence that happened when Milo Yiannopoulos was there, the breaking of windows was coming from the other side. When you look at Patriot's Prayer and you look at the man who was, bashed, he was being beaten with a stick. You've got people holding signs that say no hate and knocking them over people's heads. So you have to recognize that the violence is definitely coming from both sides here, no?
Yes, the violence is coming from both sides. But again, there are many universities across our beautiful nation, and the fact that everyone is descending on UC Berkeley is, again, that narrative to disrupt. And we cannot negate that. Even though both sides are causing violence, that intent has to be looked at very closely and questioned.
Mark?
It's not the fault of a conservative speaker who comes on campus if black-shirted thugs show up and start breaking windows and trying to hurt people with shields that say no hate. That is domestic terrorism, and also, by the way, it's bigotry. They claim to be anti-white supremacists. Bigotry is by definition trying to impose the hegemony of your beliefs, and that's exactly what these people are doing. They're trying to prevent people with differing opinions from coming onto campuses. They're not preventing fascists. They're preventing conservatives from coming onto campuses and presenting a view that doesn't fit with the orthodoxy on those campuses. So they are using terrorist violence to shut down free speech, and everybody, left, right, and center, should condemn that.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you both. We're going to be watching all of this live as it
Thanks,
unfolds
Martha.
tonight. And as Mark says, and I'm sure Wendy agrees, we hope that there's no violence there tonight. But we're